Let's go hunting. Kick it! Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I know you have a ton of junk to pick from on the internet. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. Before we get to my Philly trip, this is some neat stuff I got. My wife picked this up for me at a estate sale around here. See that? Night Ranger pin. Yeah, makes me a little bit cooler, doesn't it? And this week is my birthday week. My birthday is actually like in 2 days from filming this, but you know, I'm special. I need a whole birthday week. Can't wait to turn 27. And one of my early gifts was my wife picked this up for me on eBay. That's really one of the top 3 reasons why I got married, is because I don't want to buy presents for myself. So having that spouse, they buy you stuff. That's just, it's easily top 3 reasons to get married. More gifts. So yeah, so I won't open it because I'll geek out and just hang it with my Star Wars crap over there. But it's from 91, little handheld game. Anyway, let's go to Philadelphia. Been to Philadelphia a few times. Was there when I was in a traveling punk rock band. We played upstairs at Nick's. We played with Scott from the Stooges. He was the headline band, and it was a good show. When you're on tour, you're just hoping that more than 20 people come out and see you, and you're happy. So we got the opening slot for that show, and it was good. It was a good show. So I went back to Philly in maybe 2013. And had a good time there. Went to see the Flyers and just went back now. It was my wife's first time. Brought her to Philly. Had a great Philly experience. Went to the Reading Terminal Market. Ate like a freaking pig and felt bloated all 4 days I was in Philly. Went to see the Flyers game and actually won. Like my Chicago Blackhawks. They suck this year. Blackhawks suck this year. They're probably going to suck for a while. Blackhawks are probably going to suck for a while. But hey, it's hockey. Sing the Liberty Bell. Going to the zoo. And like I said, eating an insane amount of chicken cheesesteaks was good times. Of course, whenever I go anywhere, I'm kind of like, hey, look, it's a record store. We just happen to be walked all the way Chinatown to South Philly area. Love exploring the city, like I said. And the first stop we did was actually just unplanned. It was Philly AIDS Thrift. They have 2 locations. And one is in Giovanni's Room, which is on 12th Street. And it's like a charity. It helps out the local I always get that wrong, LGQ, you know the community I mean. Us old people just say the gay community, but you know, they have the things now that they call it, but I always forget it. Apologies for that. But anyway, queerbooks.com if you want to check out their website. So I went into this AIDS thrift store in Giovanni's Room, and everything was priced awesome. CDs were priced at 99 cents. You don't see that anymore. So unless you're at a Goodwill, and now some Goodwills, some of my friends are telling me they're up to like $3 a CD. They're like trying to get ready for the CD revolution. But we're still in the vinyl revolution, which is why I'm buying a lot of CDs. But anyway, I got this. This is the 5th release from Mr. Elvis Costello and the Attraction. Came out in a beautiful year of 1981. Big song was Clubland off of this. Saw Elvis Costello and the Attractions finally a few years ago at Riot Fest, and hands down one of the best performances I ever saw. The guy just kicked ass. Of course, he's went through a lot of stages in his career, a lot of musical styles he's tried out, but I'm telling you, the early Elvis Costello stuff is just, that's top notch. So I'm glad to have that as a CD. I have a lot of the albums. I don't have Trust on LP, so I'll just have it on CD. Another one is Kansas. They have a documentary a few years ago that was really good on a band, like how this band from Kansas, you know, broke it. You know, LA, New York were the places to be, and here's this band from Kansas. So it's really good stuff. I always grew up with their Hits album on vinyl, and then now I'm exploring all the other albums. I have a lot on LP. This is first time I got this on CD. This is their 4th album from 1976. Steve Walsh is just one of those, like, you had Boston, Journey, Chicago, Kansas. You had all these high-pitched REO Speedwagon sticks, all these high-pitched singers when I was growing up listening to rock, and it was always like, wow, that's really cool. Cheap Trick, of course. And the only full-length I got from that store was this Howard Stern record. Growing up in Chicago, we had a great radio scene, Steve Dahl and tons of other, Jonathan Brandmeier. But when Howard Stern started to be pumped into the Chicago radio, I really liked that teasing kind of straight in your face New York style. I still listen to the Chicago people because I think they were top notch. But it was also cool listening to Howard Stern. This is from '82. I don't know how many full lengths to see. I know he has like a comp CD from his movie Private Parts, but I haven't listened to Stern in ages now. But he used to crack me up way back then. I'm assuming it's a like a bit album where he just does these bits and stuff, but I've never seen it before. It's called 50 Ways to Rank Your Mother. Came out in '82. It's supposed to have a poster inside, but no more poster. But anyway, I'll spin that, give that a listen. They had 45s for 99 cents as well. So CDs 99 cents, 45s 99 cents. Really good deal. These first three I already had. I already have She's Tight from Cheap Trick, but I'm going to switch it out because this cover is in really good shape. Same here with Dancing the Night Away. I have the 12-inch for this as well. I'll probably switch it out. Well, it's only 99 cents. You know, you can play around. Yeah, I'll buy that and see if it's cooler than the copy I have at home. 99 cents. Same thing with Fooling Yourself from Styx. I already have it. I'll switch it out. The actual vinyl looks really cool, and this is a promo copy of that. These are ones I don't have, although I'm really trying to get rid of a lot of my 45s. I don't play them as much, and I got rid of maybe like 100 of them or plus last year. But yeah, I don't know. I still buy stuff. That's what you do. Quiet Riot, Mama, We're All Crazy Now. A band called Mama's Boys did an excellent version of this same song. Of course, it's Slade's song. So this one came out in '84. Mama, We're All Crazy Now. Can't wait to play that song. I like their version too. Autograph, Turn Up the Radio. When I saw Motley Crue on the Theater of Pain tour, Autograph opened up for them. I think there was a band from Russia called Autograph, but this is the band from the States. You know, we all got sick of this song. They played the hell out of it. Turn Up the Radio. I never owned a 45 single. I have their first 2 LPs from Autograph. Flock of Seagulls. I don't think this is one of their best songs. I can't remember. It's Not Me Talking. It's a buck. It's a buck, man. Cheesesteaks were like $14. This is only $1 you get music. I only take like 2 minutes eating a cheesesteak. Like, I'm a pig when I eat. And these, you know, like 6 minutes to listen to 2 songs. So it's a bargain. Billy Squier, Shot Love. Shot Love. Billy Squier, Shot Love. I don't know anything about this. What even album is from? It's from '86. From the album Enough Is Enough. I have a lot of Billy Squier stuff. His earlier band before he went solo is called Piper, and they're really good too. I have a lot of that stuff. He's got a great voice. So that was it for the Philly AIDS Thrift at Giovanni's Room. Then I walked down 4th Avenue and went to, it's kind of 2 stores in one, Vinyl Altar and a Digital Underground. So like the Altar, half of the store has more like hard rock and heavy metal, and the other has a ton of CDs and more like industrial type stuff. A lot of that stuff I already had, but let's check out what I bought there at the Vinyl Altar. And I must say this, as soon as I walk in, the owner's like, hey, how are you? I like that kind of stuff, because a lot of the record store employees and owners, they kind of get like a snobby rep, and you never know how they're going to, you know, they want people flipping through their records. Sometimes they got glare at you, but my experience with album store owners and employees, they've always been really cool. I always start conversations, chat about music forever with them, especially if you're there on a weekday. I do a lot of my shopping on weekdays. My weekends off of work for 6 months are on weekdays, so it's just me and the store owner usually, and it's great to just talk and chit-chat, and they usually throw you a deal sometimes. So anyway, he has some 45s. His were priced a little more what you expect in the price. This is from the band Berlin of California, of course. Terry Nunn, the singer, had a huge crush on her. Still do. Saw them a few years ago live for the first time. It was a really good band. Early Berlin is really, really cool. You know, like that synth pop, new wave, early 80s sound. Really good stuff. This is Masquerade. It's off their first full length. Pleasure Victim was their first full length. It came out in '82. So yeah, I'm happy to have. I have a few of their 45s. I don't have this one, so I was happy to add that into there. And then I was just shopping. I was looking around. I was looking for some Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. Everything they had was stuff that I already had. The things I was looking for, they just didn't have. They did have a little bit of used CDs, a little bit of used albums, but primarily it's like new vinyl, new reissues, stuff like that. So it's my birthday week. I had $100 from some in-laws, and I felt like, okay, now's the time to spend that $100 because let's spend it on things that maybe I normally wouldn't get, but because I have this extra cash, let's do it. You can see I already had the Paul Stanley Picture Disc solo album from 2010. I bought that a few years ago for like $20. It just has the album itself. There's no cover thing to it or anything like that. So I saw these three there. I saw Paul's there, but I didn't want to purchase that because I felt like I already have it, obviously. These come up when you scan them is from Russia and from like 2016 or 2006, I'm sorry. So these actually older than that Paul Stanley album. But I've just seen the stores and then on eBay and like an influx of them. So I don't know if somebody over there in Russia just like found a truckload of them. Like, hey, I don't know. But anyway, so I got the Ace one and I got the Peter one and I got the Paul one. No, I already have the Paul one. I have the Gene one. Boy, Gene would be mad. Confused with Paul. And of course, the order that they go into is cool. Ace, just a little bit of hair above Paul's, and then Gene's, and then last place is Peter's, obviously. I'm going to do a Kiss video of my Kiss collection. All this. Not a huge collection, but it's got some cool stuff. I'll do that in the upcoming weeks. Just as one item I'm trying to bid on eBay, and if I get that, then I'll feel like my Kiss collection is complete. Speaking about eBay, I sold a cassette tape. I went to the store here in the Chicago area, and they were selling cassette tapes for $1 each. And I bought some for myself, and I bought 2 or 3 that I knew, like, I could probably, like, flip these. Even though I don't consider myself a flipper, if I see something there, then I'm like, this is probably worth a little more. This will help me pay for my other purchases. I guess that makes me a flipper, but I'm not a jerk flipper. There's a lot of jerk flippers out there. I would never buy something that just came out, be the first one in the store with just the intent to flip it. If it's a used item that's been sitting there for a while, like, yeah, it'll help me pay for the other purchases. So surprisingly enough, this tape of The Wall and the Dark Side of the Moon sold for like $40. I was not expecting that. I was expecting like maybe 12, 14 at the most. Just earn a few bucks, help me pay for all the other cassettes I bought for $1 each, but I was happy with that. Anyway, back to this video, hunting in the wild. I like when people say, yeah, I found it in the wild. Like, really, the wild is just a city or a place, but if you want to call it the wild, call it the wild. Go have fun with that. So that was it for the vinyl altar. And then I went up to 5th Street and found Repo Records. I didn't go to Sit and Spin. That's a punk and kind of heavy metal, more of like a punk store. That's a little bit further away. I couldn't walk there. I didn't want to take an Uber. So like I said, I went from the vinyl altar underground place up to Repo Records. Let's check out what I bought at Repo. They had a good mix, like newer stuff on one side, used on the other side. I always like record stores that have lots of used vinyl. I just love it. I don't know if inventories aren't in as much as possible as they once were, but it just doesn't seem like a lot of stores have as much used anymore. But I like to get the used stuff. So again, since vinyl prices are insane, I went to the little CD rack. They had a $1 CD rack. Love $1 CD racks. So I bought some stuff from Meat First and the Gimme Gimmes. If you know them, you're like, oh yeah, hell yeah. If you don't, what the hell are they? Sometimes they have a guy from Bad Religion, a Fat Mike from NoFX, the singer, I believe, is from Swingin' Utters, if I'm not mistaken. And they do cover songs. So anything from like Madonna to Cher, to like Elton John, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so they do strictly, and they're fun live. You see them live, and you're just like, yeah, sing more John Denver, like in punk style. So it's fun stuff. So this is their first one, Have a Ball. Got that on CD. I have it on album, so now I have it on CD. Just like throw that in my iTunes. This is their second one, Our Drag. I think this is when they do like Whitney Houston and all that kind of stuff. Over the Rainbow, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, Rainbow Connection, Family Opera, Tomorrow, Cabaret. So it's just fun. It's all played to the upbeat, like pop punk style. And there's all songs that are in your skull. House of Lords, this is their second album. Kind of the band Jufria kind of morphed into this House of Lords. So it's that AOR, easily listening to heavy metal sound, if you will. And this came out in 1990. Like I said, this is their second. I have their first on album. I like their first a little more than this. This one's hard to find on vinyl, their second. But yeah, Sahara, it was alright. It was an alright listen. I also bought Joe Walsh. I don't like the Eagles very much. I don't like Glenn Frey at all. Henley and his solo albums when I was growing up in the 80s. Oh, I hate that stuff. But anyway, the Eagles have a few okay songs. So I just thought the coolest Eagle was Joe Walsh. I'm like, finally now in 2023, all right, I'll start listening to some of his solo stuff. I didn't know this really wasn't an album proper. This is like a compilation of his. It's got the song Rocky Mountain Way, but then a lot of his other hits, like In the City and that, aren't on this. But it's got other songs. It actually surprised me. I played it, and it's got more of like harmonic sound than I thought he would have. But it's pretty good. And then last but not least, this is a band from Tennessee. They're like a lo-fi country punk rock kind of band. The Grifters. After a few songs, I realized it just wasn't for me. But that's what a 99-cent band is at a CD store or an album store or whatever. It's a chance to check some stuff out. You know, this came out in 96, I believe, on Sub Pop. So I thought, oh, love Sub Pop. That's a good era of music I like. But it just wasn't for me. So probably off to a used store. I will trade that in. Now, the big purchase was this Power Mad album I saw in the cheap bin, which was crazy, the cheap album bin. I just had bought this record a few years ago. This came out in '89. It was on Headbangers Ball for this song, Nice Dreams. It's usually what people know Power Mad from. They're a heavy metal band from Minnesota. They were going to break kind of like Metallica did, but they just never did. They're a good band, heavy band. And I just bought this, and I knew, like, it's worth more than a few bucks. So again, I'll buy it and see if it compares to the one I have at home, which cover I like more. But in it, I was totally shocked. There was a promo kit there. So it has the band's promo picture and a promo sheet about the band, which I really don't need. I don't collect Power Man. I just wanted that album. So I'm going to pick the album insert and cover that I want, put that aside, and then the album insert I don't want and cover, we'll go with the promo stuff, throw it up on eBay, and that'll help pay for it. This is like a $40 album, I believe, so I just got it for a few bucks, so it'll help pay for the other purchases I made at that store. You are Flipper, you're a jerk. I don't know. Oh, I also bought this. They had a lot of reproduction blacklight posters, and I bought this Kiss poster. I don't have my blacklight on with me, but you're probably not going to be able to enjoy it as much and won't be proper rolled up. But when I do my Kiss video collection, I will show you that. But that's pretty cool, huh? You don't think there was Kiss blacklight. My wife was like, hey, did you see that Kiss blacklight? I was like, no, I was looking at records. And I always like bringing her with, even though she hates the stand there. As I go flipping through albums, I look up, there's my pretty wife. But I like bringing her with because her eyes will see things. I can just walk through your room like, oh, I saw that. Yep, she like, did you also see that and that? I'm like, what are you talking about? What was there? And she's like, no, you idiot, look on the wall. I'm like, oh, so she's great to bring. And then she slows me down to actually look at everything. I always find a lot of cool stuff when she's around. Now, speaking about eBay, these are purchases I made from people in stores that sell on eBay. Of course, this one's Imperial Drag. Roger Manning from the great, perfect power pop band Jellyfish. Their two albums are just great. Spilt Milk. Jellyfish is a perfect band if you like power pop. Anyway, after that band broke up, he was tooling around and formed Imperial Drag. This came out, like I said, in 1996. It's their one and done full length. It's really good stuff. I like it a lot. That glam rock kind of thing. Wesley Willis, he was a staple in the Chicago scene. I spoke to him a few times. I almost purchased his art. Of course, now, looking back, it's kicking myself that I didn't purchase a little print that he would draw. He had schizophrenia, so you'd be at a punk show, and you'd see this big dude walk in and kind of look homelessly and just have lots of coats on him and kind of smell homelessly. But he was a good guy, man. Wesley Willis. He played with my friend's band way back when, Trailer Hitch, for a long time too. But he got to be in the cult status and then kind of the hipster status, and he signed to a major label. And this was his album, I think, that he put out on a Feel the Power, that he put out on American Recordings, which is, I think, Rick Rubin's thing, I think. But yeah, this is him. And then sadly he passed away, but he was an entertaining person to speak to. Wesley Willis. So good in Chicago, we named the Sears Tower after him. Anyway, Liam Gallagher from Oasis, another perfect power pop kind of punk band. Not punk band, power pop band, Oasis hardcore punk, oi oi oi. This is his second solo album, I believe, or maybe his first. I don't know. I'll put it here if it's first or second. So when Oasis is great, Oasis is great. Sometimes Oasis has like sort of sleeper songs. I think kind of the same with the solo career. He's got 3 albums. I'm sure not every song's gonna be great, but if he could achieve that, Oasis, when they do that perfect song, it'll be good stuff. I spun it once, and he had a few songs that were really, really good. Last but not least, the third album from the band, Warrant, of course, the hair band. They'd had Cherry Pie was their second album, and they went off the rails on that kind of a scene. They tried to come back a little harder with this third one called Dog Eat Dog, which I have on CD long box. Music on vinyl, and when they press stuff, they're from the UK. It's really well, so it's worth the extra price that you're going to pay when you purchased it. 92 people wanted Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, any group that would play like Lollapalooza type stuff. They didn't want Warrant and their swinging hair, so it's a good album actually. It's a little heavier. Like people are like, oh, it's so heavy. It's not like Judas Priest or anything. It's heavier than Cherry Pie, of course, but yeah. It's good though, so I bought it. I mean, obviously I liked it because it's like $40, I think, for this one. So have to like it. All right, well, thanks for watching.